From ancient legends to modern geopolitics, the appearance of Israel on the world map stands as one of the most remarkable and controversial events of the 20th century. Its creation was not sudden. It was the result of centuries of history, decades of political struggle, and a dramatic convergence of global powers at a pivotal moment in time. To understand how this small state came into existence, we need to go back thousands of years. According to ancient tradition, the land known as Israel was promised to the Jewish people. It became the center of their spiritual and cultural life, home to their most sacred sites. Over time, Jewish kingdoms rose and fell there, but their independence did not last forever. In 63 BC, the region fell under Roman control. After a series of revolts in the 1st and 2nd centuries AD, the Romans crushed Jewish resistance, destroyed Jerusalem, and expelled many Jews from their homeland. This marked the beginning of a long diaspora. For centuries, Jewish communities spread across Europe, North Africa, and the Middle East. Though small numbers continued to live in the historic land, most Jews lived far from it, often facing discrimination, persecution, and periodic violence. Everything began to change in the late 19th century. In 1882, the first large wave of Jewish migration, known as the First Aliyah, arrived in Ottoman-controlled Palestine. Many of these migrants were fleeing pogroms in Eastern Europe. They were joined by earlier Jewish residents, and together they began building agricultural communities on often difficult and undeveloped land. Despite harsh conditions, these settlers slowly transformed the landscape. Swamps were drained, deserts cultivated, and new farming techniques introduced. What seemed like barren land began to flourish. At the same time, a powerful political movement was taking shape, Zionism. Its goal was clear: to establish a national homeland for the Jewish people. One of its leading figures worked tirelessly to gain international support, meeting rulers and diplomats across Europe. While he did not live to see success, he helped ignite a global movement that would reshape history. More waves of migration followed. By the early 20th century, Jewish communities in Palestine were growing rapidly. New institutions were formed, including financial organizations, defense groups, and cultural centers. The foundation for a future state was slowly being built. Then came World War I, and everything changed again. The Ottoman Empire collapsed, and Britain took control of Palestine. In 1917, the British government issued a declaration supporting the establishment of a Jewish national home in the region. This promise was later backed by international agreements, placing Palestine under British administration. But this decision planted the seeds of conflict. As Jewish immigration increased, especially during the rise of Nazism in Europe, tensions between Jewish and Arab communities intensified. By the 1930s, the situation had become volatile. Arab uprisings broke out, demanding independence and an end to Jewish immigration. Britain, caught between competing promises, imposed restrictions that satisfied neither side. World War II further complicated matters. The Holocaust devastated Jewish communities across Europe, creating an urgent need for a safe homeland. Yet even after the war, Britain maintained limits on immigration to Palestine. Frustration turned into resistance. Jewish underground groups began targeting British infrastructure and pushing for independence. By 1947, Britain could no longer manage the situation. It handed the problem over to the newly formed United Nations. The UN proposed a bold solution: divide Palestine into two separate states, one Jewish and one Arab, while placing Jerusalem under international control. The plan was accepted by Jewish leaders but rejected by Arab representatives who saw it as unjust. Then came a surprising twist. Despite its open